Hey everybody, we're back with more Final Fantasy XIII. When we last left off, Sazh shot himself in the head, but it happened off screen, so we don't really believe he's dead. And now the thrilling conclusion. Sugar and rainbows. How are you doing, Lena? Sazh loses his will to go on with his beloved son transformed into a crystal. There's nothing left to live for. He curses Vanille for her part in the tragedy, but killing her won't bring Darsh back. Sazh's brand suddenly glows with burning intensity, and the Eidolon Brynhilde appears before the despairing father. He doesn't even try to run, maybe death is the easiest path. But then Vanille pulls herself between them. Sazh may despise her for what he's done, but she can't let him die. Once the Eidolon is defeated, Sazh turns his gun on Vanille and able to shoot the young woman who turns his gun on himself. Soon after, Vanille comes principally on Psychom. She faces transportation to Eden and public execution, and the Sanctum's chosen doom for Palamecia. Watching the news broadcast aboard Lindenblum, the cavalry's flagship, Lightning and the other Lassie learning the impending execution. Blech. Let's go.
There she is, the Palamecia, pride of the Sanctum Sky Fleet.
Another FF9 reference.
This mighty flagship currently serves as a prison for the Lassie apprehended in Nautilus.
Did I? I think I did. Yeah, I don't think I did.
The Lassie will face official sentencing upon the convoy's arrival in the capital.
So what's with the freak show?
So the Primarch can stand in judgment of the villainous Lassie.
Yeah, they probably
With
were.
their
I've not added any
execution
in
as the
a
climax.
while. I keep meaning
The
to
people will
add
cheer their demise, and Palamecia Dominion will be undisputed.
pick a non-RPG for
All
a
part
cheaper
of the
price
plan.
than picking an RPG.
Yes, but it also presents.
Yeah,
an
Vampire's been
opportunity.
there for a while.
In a display of unwavering dedication to duty, the Primarch himself has boarded the Palamecia and focused his personal attention on resolving the Pulse crisis.
They're baiting us,
Primarch.
trying to draw us out.
Bait, huh?
Nah, it's good, Lena.
Yeah, that's right. Here are your friends. Come and get them.
Let's go get 'em.
If they're daring us to mount a rescue, I'll take that action. All in.
Alrighty, bets are on the table. We leave when you're ready. I'll be standing by.
Thanks, poor Mansell Guna. I got an achievement just for starting the game today. That's it.
The Psychom fleet has us under surveillance. While we're busy
Why?
watching the Lindblom, you slip aboard the Palamecia. The time is right. Our brigade will launch an all-out assault to back you up.
Yeah, I keep meaning to add, a redemption to pick a non-RPG related game to play. And I keep forgetting. I need to get around to doing that. Possibly for 10,000 as opposed to the 50,000 the RPGs cost. Or the 100,000 that the pick any RPG costs.
Rescuing Sazh and Vanille is our top priority. You gotta play it smart this time. I'm charging in without a plan. Listen to me talking strategy.
Anyway.
Dad's all right. Another cavalry unit rescued him and moved him somewhere safe.
There we go, that's so good.
I kind of wish I could talk to him, but I guess I have to make my own choices now.
Resolves the question of how tying him up was going to do anything.
Come on, let's get this show on the road. I finally found Vanille again, And I'll be damned if I'm just gonna stand around while she's in trouble.
See you at evening when the battle's over.
What else do we got around here?
Stick it to Psychon, will you?
Let's see. Might as well work on the Crystarium while we got the chance. What's in the bundle, Teak? Also, how you doing, Teak? Hope, work on Ravager. Also, then work on Medic. And we can work on Commando. Sentinel's a good one. Saboteur. Sentinel. Ravager. That does seem like a good collection. 3 controllers. What chords? Is it composite or VGA? Also, at this point, whenever you're looking at picking up Dreamcast, it is well worth finding out whether or not the Dreamcast has any mods to it, like DC HDMI. Composite. I don't know, Seek. I mean, you can emulate Dreamcast well enough. It's all about how much you want the actual hardware. And even then, are you going to be after upgrading at any point with an optical drive emulator or an HDMI mod? Because at that point, if you are going to do either of those options, it's probably worth it to look into just getting a system with it already done, which will cost you somewhat more than that.
It'll deliver you to the Palamecia.
Oh, we're cargo now?
A parting gift to our rotting government. Take those SciComm guys apart.
And we're supposed to take on all of them? I think the whole division's on board.
I don't care how many lackeys they've got. Bring them on. Vanille's in there.
I'm sure she's fine. Vanille's tougher than I could ever be.
Hope, are you scared?
Yeah, I'm terrified. But I'll be okay. Because I have you, and this guy, and Fang. We're all in this mess. We gotta stick together.
I don't think he's ever actually spoken to Fang.
Right. Enough with the bonding. It's go time.
Yeah, ultimately, you could look into picking up a pre-modded Dreamcast with DC HDMI and a GD EMU and see how much that costs in comparison.
We didn't expect to see you here in person, Your Eminence.
This crisis threatens the entirety of Cocoon, my child. You agree that standing at the fore is a leader's charge?
Wholeheartedly.
It also affords a splendid view of the impending execution.
What's the holdup?
Yes, DC8, like, look into it. Video options.
You let me land this bird or I'll crash her
A
into your
VGA
ass.
to HDMI converter would be better than composite to HDMI. DC HDMI is even better than that. Ultimately, I don't think you should really be, in this day and age, I don't think you should really be playing Dreamcast with composite. Especially when VGA is such a clean option. The biggest trouble with VGA is getting yourself a capture card solution that can actually record it. Right. Here, you could. Like I say, it's something worth looking into for yourself to see the results, Teak. Can't really explain it that well. But just the difference between composite and VGA is night and day to begin with. But DC HDMI is a cleaner and simpler result, just going to cost you some extra because it's
Code red, repeat. Code red. Attention all crew, this is not a drill. Code red.
All right, let's tear him up.
We're here for Vanille and Sazh. Stay focused.
Plus, like I said before, yes. GDEMU does run Dreamcast games. GDEMU replaces...
Change of plan.
GDEMU replaces the disk drive, but it's a very simple mod. And as long as you still have the disk drive, you can put it back in if you want.
Time for another approach.
And the big problem with streaming or capturing VGA footage from Dreamcast is getting a capture card to recognise it. I had to get a specific VGA to HDMI converter for mine, which I can send you a link to if you're interested later. Alright, now let's immediately change those paradigms. I am not happy with this setup.
Looks like they want to play.
No kidding. So where to?
But the GDEMU basically allows you to run Dreamcast games off an SD card on the actual hardware. Pretty cool. Can I switch the party yet? Okay. Okay, what we're gonna do first... Let's see this. What do you mean, what do I run? When I play Dreamcast games, I use the GDEMU VGA cable hooked up to a VGA to HDMI converter. So whenever you see me play Dreamcast games, that's how it is. Worth noting that a VGA cable does not transmit audio, and you're going to want a VGA box. If you're going to go with a VGA cable, you want a VGA box. The Dreamcast. Most Dreamcast games support VGA, not everything does. For example, the Dreamcast version of Dino Crisis does not support VGA. Now someone was left almost making it to the next step.
Don't remember inviting you.
Alright, let's rock and roll. At some point I should probably go through the setups I have for all the systems I have. Most of them are pretty simple since the HD consoles are just HDMI hookups. Some of the older systems are a little more complicated. I've explained the N64 setup plenty of times, but I could do a dedicated show of it, I guess.
Nothing I can't handle.
You can still do that. I've said before with stuff like flashcards, the whole thing does not prevent you from still picking up discs or cartridges. You can do both. One does not immediately exclude the other. It depends on how much messing around you want to do. You can still have a Dreamcast collection, but there's the question of how much you'd actually want to use the discs, especially with the Dreamcast being as loud as it is when it's running discs. I hope there was nothing down there. I don't remember when I said that, but I can believe I said that. Thank you, Bane. Also, how you doing, Bane?
Get the feeling I'm missing something.
What now?
Going up. I mean, push comes to shove, you can always just pick up a second Dreamcast cheat if you want to run the discs on it. Oh no, I believe it was last year. I believe it was something I would have said. I'm doing okay, thanks, Bane. We're getting into third scene now. I'm actually quite enjoying this now. That'll all change when we get to the boss of this chapter. I remember that being bullshit.
Won't be going back that way.
We'll find another route.
Way ahead of you. See that?
Let's go.
The good news is, I think after this chapter, I think this is chapter 9. After this chapter, we gain full access to the battle system, including changing our battle teams. Roll. I'll do less posing at the previous.
Thank you.
You know, I forgot what the AI does when you have two commandos. Ideally, you'd want both commandos to focus on the same target. But if there's more than one target, the AI will make the other commando target something else.
And I was just getting started.
I've forgotten about that. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, Dreamcasts aren't particularly expensive. Push comes to shove and you want to do both Seek, you could just buy a second Dreamcast. Although if you actually try Dreamcast with discs, and also try it with a GDEMU, I think you'll probably want to stick with GDEMU. It's quieter, it loads faster, everything's all on single SD card, you don't have to mess around with this. It's a matter of convenience. Like I say, you can still buy the games. Nothing's stopping you from still going out and purchasing them.
Thank you. Hardly worth the effort.
Alright, I look forward to that, Bane. Alright, let me see. I want to change some of these paradigms for a second. Yeah, I don't need this while I have even dodge. There we go. Doesn't look like there's anything over there, but I bet you that guy's gonna come over. Nope. Right, he's probably gonna make an appearance when I go for that item though.
I can barely see the top.
Not even with sea can survive a fall.
Honestly, I'd argue, especially if you're after collecting games, it's worth it to have something like the GDEMU or like the EverDrive. especially if you're at the collection, because it removes the indecision of wanting to
Time for another approach.
wanting to buy games complete in box in as good a condition as possible, and also wanting to keep them in as good a condition as possible while also wanting to play them.
Keep the enemy off balance.
But I say that as somebody who isn't a collector. I only buy games to play them. I don't get around to everything, but whenever I buy a game, the intention is to play it. I told Vane once about the time that I got Dragon Quest VI Realms of Revelation on DS. Fully sealed for £6, like complete factory sealed, £6. And I got it home and opened the box and stuck the cartridge in my DS, and Vane was not happy about that. Just stop hitting Hope. Everything is giving more points. Look it out. You're working on Ravager at the minute. I'm going to have you focus on Medic. Thanks for the look, Titanium. Hope you're doing okay.
Maybe we can use him.
Thanks for the local, you know. There he is, trying to surprise me. Who's coming?
Me up.
Get him.
Keep the enemy off balance. That doesn't sound like it was worth it, but we got extra experience for it. So it's not a big deal. To be fair, it could be worth it, I just don't pay attention to the crafting system. I'm not sure how it works in the game explores very well. Go. I think ultimately though, T, the answer to the question, like, is that collection worth 250?
you'd be best off looking into the specific prices of them. I imagine Shenmue, especially in the US, is fairly expensive on Dreamcast. Sonic Adventure doesn't have a box, so you have to consider that. Soul Reaver, I don't know how rare that is on Dreamcast. I mean, you've got to decide if you think it's of enough value to you. Code Veronica, of course, has some value to you. Decide whether or not you think that's worth it. And then, of course, consider, because knowing you, you're probably going to be like me and after the best video quality. Consider the additional price of a VGA box and trying to pick up the right VGA to HDMI converter. I think that's set me back about £25 altogether. Of course, the good thing about the VGA to HDMI converter I picked up that worked, that would let me capture the footage, is that it was VGA and component to HDMI. So I then bought a component cable from the PS2 and put that on, which was nice. At some point I would love to try and find a better video solution for PS2. The one that I've got is basically the best you can get out of the system. But if you can get any kind of direct HDMI improvement, like Ultra HDMI for N64 or DC HDMI for Dreamcast, or GC HDMI for GameCube, I'd love to try and find that just to get a cleaner video signal.
Thanks.
PS2 has some fantastic looking games, but the video signal is not great. And it's unfortunate. There we go.
Easy.
Anything over here? Oh, right. See what we get from the next battle and then decide whether or not we want to throw some Crystarium points down.
Makes you dizzy, doesn't it?
Here we go. Yeah, if I remember rightly, the boss of this chapter is the first true pain in the ass of the game. That should be fun. See how bad the fight goes this time.
Hardly worth the effort.
Yeah, it's not many points that time. What's that over here for? Just the fight? Hello.
Back me up. Change of plan.
Work there. Do it faster, please.
You're nothing.
Okay, that's good enough. Take him down. Actually, a fair point. Fang as a saboteur isn't super useful right now because all she's got for it is slow. Might be worth examining what's currently open on the board for her.
Time for another approach.
Alright,
Change of plan.
Alright. So yeah, maybe check out what Fang has on Saboteur. Curse, Cursker, magic damage. Yeah, it doesn't look all that worth it in comparison with other stuff this time. So I guess let's make her more effective as a commando. Hope can work on Ravager for a minute. Lightning can also work on Ravager. Yeah, looks like we're going in. Welcome back, Lena.
Sazh?
Oh, they didn't even pretend that Sazh was dead.
Enough. is enough.
It really begs the question of, like, what was the point?
Why can't I do it? I got no reason to keep living. I can't even kill you.
Sazh.
Freeze! Take him!
So if they knew he wasn't dead, why did they wheel him out in cradle?
You should be proud. Your son's a hero. The boy who saved Cocoon. We'll erect a memorial in Eden and put his crystal on display.
A memorial? He's a little boy!
As the
He's
son
also
of a
not dead.
pulseless sea, he would have lived in shame and misery. Isn't it better he be treated with reverence as a monument to sacrifice? The next time your eyes open will be the last.
Really makes the whole cliffhanger of the last chapter come across as way more bullshit as well now. Because there was no reason for them to try and make us think that Sazh had killed himself.
That's my line. I'm the one who lied to everyone.
Forget it. You can't change what's done.
But if I just told the truth...
Now. I've been thinking. You woke up from being a crystal once. Well, that means Dodge will wake up one day too, right? What was it like? I mean, how did it happen? You were done with your focus, right?
I was chosen. I was made into a Lassie to fight against Cocoon. It happened back on Grand Pulse, hundreds of years ago. We finished our focus, and we fell into a long crystal sleep.
Well, you know, at least Dodge became a crystal with his clothes on. What was the point of that? If the clothes were gonna spawn anyway, why was she naked?
Bang! We woke up on Cocoon to the start of a new focus. Fang, she'd forgotten everything. And for me, just the thought of hurting people again. It was too much. So I lied. I played dumb. Said I'd lost my memory. I wanted to escape my fate as a lessee. And ever since then, I've been running away from it.
Let us through! Block our way, you die!
Is it really the best idea to shout down the corridor?
Yeah, I thought maybe they'd run. There's been enough blood spilled.
You thought they'd run? Let me refresh your memory. Those soldiers think they're protecting Cocoon from Lassie. The Fal'Cie have them all brainwashed.
Fal'Cie? I have had it. We cannot let this go on.
Attention all crew, code green. Repeat, code green. Security forces stand by. Hostile forces on board, code green.
Please don't change my paradigms. Good. Alright, let's go. See you guys in a minute. Let's say.
Okay.
Is Palamecia Final Fantasy? I said that earlier, I'm feeling like I'm mistaken. Anybody got a confirmation on that?
New strategy.
That was close. You can do with Hope being a little faster on the cures. Now, let me see. Palamecia. Of course, Palamecia is FF2. It's the kingdom that the Emperor rules over. God damn it. I should have known that.
As if there was any doubt.
Alright. Keep going through the corridors, I guess. Gentlemen. And lady.
Back me up.
She's doing lots, one of death. Less posing, more healing. Damn it.
And so it ends.
Yeah, you think I would have picked up on Palamecia? I don't know, I guess with Lindblom being the name of one of the airships, I got confused and expected another airship to be the same. That's the only excuse for the thing, though. This is for fuck's sake.
No.
Welcome back, Titanium.
Let's get this over with.
No, this fight was going badly before you came back, Titanium. Not entirely charge.
Thanks.
I really wish they wouldn't all individually do the poses the first time you change in battle. It wastes so much time. Like, who thought it was a good idea in a real-time battle system to have all of your characters stop and have you lose your observational awareness of the battlefield? Especially for such an extended period. Really dumb. How are you doing, Titanium? We're off to rescue Vanille and Sazh. The game has revealed that Sazh didn't really shoot himself in the head. He shot to the side of his head, and then the game decided to pretend that he'd shot himself in the head, and it meant nothing. Yeah, the DMW in Crisis Core is handled a lot better. But Crisis Core also has a more action-based system where you are in control of your movements. I'm glad to see you doing well, Titanium. Come on.
New strategy.
I thought with the first shift in this battle being not that, I thought we'd gotten away with it, but the fact they held on to it to do it to the second is frustrating. There it is. Okay. So what's down here? Oh, is this back where we started? Oh. Alright.
Back me up.
Go for the intro tricks first, or go use the other side. Okay. Infiltrator 2. Yeah, like I was saying to Lino earlier though, with the redemptions, I've been meaning for a while to put on a point redemption for non-RPG games that a person can choose. And have it cheaper than choosing an RPG, because non-RPGs aren't going to take as long. And I really need to get around to doing that. I'm thinking 10,000 points, maybe? Alright. Wow, we really didn't build up much in the way of points now. Alright, let's go. Yeah, the idea would be like you could just choose any game. Of course, I do have the option to veto. Go. Yeah, always with the option to veto. Same is true of redeeming an RPG. Because it's 100,000 to redeem any RPG you want. But I do, of course, reserve the right to say no. For whatever reason. Be it that I really don't want to, I don't have the game, yada yada. Like, you could redeem the 100,000 RPG redemption and be like, hey, play Panzer Dragoon Saga, and be like, I don't have Panzer Dragoon Saga, and I have no way of playing Panzer Dragoon Saga, so that's off the table. Of course, if you wanted to redeem Red Dead Redemption, I think that would have to be more than 10,000 points because of how long that game is. That game's length is comparable to an RPG. Which I suppose really is a sign of things to come, now that I think about it. I already did Superman 64 Titanium. I'm gonna guess that wasn't the answer you were expecting. Fight these guys again, I guess. Nice, got sneaky.
Nothing I can't handle.
Take out the Hunter first, always, because we always take out the box. I didn't play it for a huge amount of time, but I played it for longer than you would expect. I think if you go into Superman 64 knowing exactly what it is and not intending to finish it, you can have some fun with it. I think if you were intending to finish it, that's when it's not fun. Oh no, we didn't get to the underground levels. We didn't actually get to anything indoors. We got to stage 3 or 4, I think. A lot of people I've seen play it give up after, and they fly through the rings. get to the bit where you have to grab a car. Is that the first bit? You grab a car and stop it? Stop the car from hitting a mother crossing the street or something? I did, I think, 3 of those. I did Bubsy 3D for like 15 minutes. With the whole point of like, well, I'm not doing what I was currently playing anymore. And Bubsy 3D's here. And I think I showed off fairly well why I'm not going to do a full playthrough of Bubsy 3D. While, you know, on the other hand, I'm probably eventually going to do a full playthrough of Sonic 06. Honestly, Superman 64 is not a good game. You will have seen worse. It is not a game worth going out and picking up. It's not all that interesting, honestly. What would be interesting would be the beta version. If I could get hold of the beta version ROM, I'd definitely be down to take a look at that. Because if you've never seen the beta version of Superman 64, it's more feature complete. There's a lot more going on in the beta, and it seems like a better game. But ultimately, Superman 64 has the same problem as Bubsy, in that it just becomes kind of dull. The awfulness of it is amusing for a short time, and then it's just kind of boring. You can regard it as what you want, mate. You're not doing Bubsy 3D again. I indulged your curiosity. I showed Ninja exactly what it was he'd been backing. And I think everybody's okay to not go back to it. Yeah, Superman 64, it doesn't control that well. I found a key for the movement is to, rather than hold A to fly forward, regularly tap it instead of holding, which will give you more control over your turning. But overall, my biggest opinion of it is just don't really play it. There are games that are comically bad that can be entertaining over an extended period. Like Sonic 06, I think, can be entertainingly bad over an extended period. Ride to Hell Retribution can be as well. Aliens Colonial Marines can kind of be, although that very carefully skirts the line of entertaining and just tedious. And which side of that line it falls on is down to personal preference. Superman 64 gets old quickly. You know, maybe I'll do that as a one-off at some point for Halloween. Aliens, Colonial Marines. I've had a few ideas about what I'll do for Halloween this year, but the main thing I've been thinking of has been pretty much entirely Silent Hill 4. Don't forget the Kryptonite Fog. I probably will go with that superhero marathon idea, babe. At some point. And Superman 64 will not be on there, but I'll put some other Superman games on there for people to vote for. I mean, it's worth noting that Superman never had a particularly great game. At best, he had inoffensive, okay games. That said, it's possible the Death and Return of Superman on Super Nintendo is actually really good. And
Let's get this
really
over
not
with.
into beat-em-ups. The Shadow Apocalypse on GameCube was okay. Countdown to Apocalypse on GBA wasn't awful. Superman Returns had some interesting ideas, but was ultimately pretty bland. I think they could put some interesting choices for Super American. Well, there's all the Spider-Man games, various X-Men games, Punisher.
Thanks.
I did want to pick up the Captain America game on PS3, but I've not seen it in a long time. Because that was supposed to actually be okay. Or like, it was supposed to be pretty good, just kind of uninspired. Which I think is probably the smartest thing for a movie tie-in game to aim for. Chat display doesn't feature all of that message, I'm guessing because the YouTube link at the end is too long and breaks it. I mean, if you're watching this back on YouTube, you don't need that link anyway, you're already there. But yeah, let's see what I've got. Justice League Heroes. Anything on PSP? There's a few superhero games on GBA that actually work. GBA got the only tie-in game to the Daredevil movie we've done. So you know, you think about that. I don't know. How you doing, chat? Come on, stagger.
Time for another approach.
Throw down. if I don't have to do a heal, I'll be really happy. I don't want to switch paradigms again. There we go. Alright, wait. Yeah, the main thing though is like I'd love to have a superhero RPG to do with it, but I can't think of any. The best I can think of is superhero action RPG, with RPG being a pretty loose idea. The old Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, the Legends games, are pretty good for that. And the party creation is pretty extensive, which is really neat. Especially if you have all the DLC characters for Ultimate Alliance. Raven Software knew how to make some really good games. That reminds me, speaking of Raven, I have the Wolfenstein game they made that I want to take a look at some point on PS3. It's Wolfenstein 2009, I think. I've never played it. I heard it wasn't all that well regarded at the time.
And I was just getting started.
But I picked it up pretty cheap, and in more recent years, since the new Colossus came out, I've been hearing people being a lot more, you know, kinder about it. That's interesting. Interesting to me, at least. Really wish they'd stop attacking Hope. The good news is, if they're attacking Hope, they're not attacking Lightning. So I'd rather have them attacking Hope, because if Lightning goes down, game over. Which is still a stupid idea.
Keep a cool head.
Aggression. Going up.
Easy.
Alright. If it wasn't for the fact that I've already said I'm gonna do Code Vein or East Origin after we finish 13, I'd probably do the Superhero Marathon idea after this. But I don't want to delay that again. Especially with how I've decided to delay Legend of Dragoon playthrough until after Code Vein or East Origin, whichever I decide I'm doing. Maybe I should let people vote on that. That could be an idea. I wonder what people would vote for. My immediate suspicion would be Code Vein. Then I wonder if Code Vein would get enough hate over Ys Origin.
You know what to do.
I know some people don't consider Code Vein to be that good. But with Code Vein specifically supposed to be like anime Dark Souls, suggests it's going to have a substantial level of difficulty, and Ys Origin isn't an easy game either. Unless I put it on easy. Which I could, but I'm probably not going to.
And I was just getting started.
That's probably fun. Anyway. Okay, so 2 more fights and we get to our destination, I think. This is definitely one of the best shows of Final Fantasy XIII being kind of uninteresting. When you've just got a corridor and lines of enemies you have to go through. Which suggests that maybe 13 would have been better off bringing back the random battle system. So you didn't just have obvious stuff like this. But what do I know? I'm not a professional video game developer. I'm just a robot. Yeah, a little more. How dare you heal yourself so? I do not condone such things amongst the enemies. I always hate when an enemy in an RPG heals themselves. One of my biggest pet peeves. Okay, so I probably want to open the kinetic here. How are you guys doing? We'll get back to story content soon, I promise. We might even end up calling today's session as we finish the which would be probably a bad thing, because next chapter is when we're going to have to start grinding. And I can't start grinding off screen if we haven't started the chapter yet. To be fair to you, with it being a bid, the last hour and a half wouldn't have mattered anyway. bid that often on eBay. Hey, Magic! How you doing, Magic? Can we get a shout out for Magic, please? Magic's super cool dude who's currently playing through Persona 5 Royal on Merciless difficulty. Check that out. Yeah, Magic's cool dude. Yeah. The capture card I'm currently using, actually, I got off eBay in a bid. Because these capture cards are actually pretty expensive, and getting the older models is pretty hard. You know, you have to be willing to fork out
And I was just
extra
getting
for them.
started.
And I got this in a bid for not that much, which was nice. And my PSP Go. I got that in a bid. I think that was like £60. That was like 4 or 5 years ago now. It was a while ago. Yeah, I'll do it then. Let's see.
Attention all crew, code green. Repeat, code green.
Are they actually
Security
getting
forces
away?
stand by. Hostile forces on board, code green.
Get up! You're being moved. On your feet, scum! You too!
These guys are terrible.
Alright, time to split. Not run. There's a difference.
Gotcha.
Let's go.
Hey, Sana. Did you wrap up your stream? If you did, then let me close that.
Do I deserve to escape?
Not the time to be
What?
asking that.
You'd rather die?
Yeah.
What?
I hope it went well, Sana.
Cause that's gotta scare you. Scares
It's no
me.
problem, Sana.
Scares me so much. I think I might die
No,
of fright.
for Halloween, we're
So,
going with actual horror games.
I push myself to live even harder.
XIII probably fits in with the usual
I can just
RPG
imagine
style of
Dodge
things.
laughing at me
Honestly.
talking this nonsense.
That's fair,
Right
Sana.
now, I'd do anything to see that smile. Stay positive, right?
Yay. Here we go. I haven't done Persona 5 Royal. I've done regular Persona 5, and it was about 80 hours. If it's your first time through, I could definitely see the Royal coming up to over 100. It's no problem, Magic. Yeah, I think Boktai Triforce probably just going to fall under the standard stuff rather than specifically a horror stream. Okay, that wasn't a mistake. I haven't played it, but that's mostly just due to the case of I have so many games I haven't played. But it's not even funny at this point. Like I say, I spent a bunch of time on Lunar Nights, never finished it. Alright. Yeah, never finished it, but it's on the list, definitely. Along with some other GB RPGs like Golden Sun and Sigma Star Saga that I want to do. I think that's true of... Oh god. This thing making all the damn noise again. I think that's pretty true of a lot of games, especially on a system like the GBA. I feel like with something like the GBA, kind of like the N64, you either had the games or you just didn't. Interesting. There was a video that I saw on Dark Forces a while back. It was a review, but I can't remember how he got it working. It might have been DOSBox, it might not have been. So I'll have to look into that at some point. Or if you want to look into it for yourself, Lena. XIII, here's the YouTube channel, did a review on Dark Forces. But if you don't want to look into it because you don't want to have the game spoiled, it's fair enough. I'll try and get back to you, I'll try and remember to get back to you, see if we can find what it was. But it was probably DOSBox, I don't think there is actually a source port for it. Not a problem. Not a problem, Lena. I don't think there's a source port for it, which is unfortunate because it's a really good game. It'd be great to be able to run it on a modern system like GZ Doom or eDuke 32. And it's less likely to get that kind of treatment because it is not an engine. I don't think it was an engine used for anything else. I don't think it's the Doom engine. It's not the build engine. I think it was an engine made entirely by LucasArts. Which, like I said, I don't think went into anything else. Which is kind of a shame because if it was other stuff used for it, you could probably find more for it. It's like with GZ Doom, since it just runs the Doom engine in a source port. It's great, you can run Ultimate Doom and Doom 2, but you can also run anything made on the Doom engine, like Hexen or Heretic. Then again, there's also the possibility of it being too awkward anyway. I mean, like, the three big games made on the build engine are Duke Nukem 3D, Shadow Warrior, and Blood. And as far as I'm aware, Shadow Warrior and Blood don't run on eDuke 32, which is a real shame. So, well, I don't know. Probably trickier than I'd like to sort of really work it out. Blood specifically only really got a source port. I think it was an official port rather than something fan-made last year, Blood Fresh Supply.
Follow the old man's lead.
And as far as Duke Nukem 3D goes, your best bet for that is still either eDuke 32 or to try and pick up the Megaton edition, which isn't sold anymore because Gearbox is a piece of shit company. It's like, hey, why would you want Duke Nukem 3D World Tour 20th Anniversary Edition when you've got Duke Nukem 3D Megaton Edition, which has the entire game, the extra episode, and all 3 expansion packs. And then Gearbox puts out the World Tour for the 20th anniversary, and they take out the expansion packs and just add a new episode. They also had commentary from the original creators, which is kind of neat, but it has too much rendered pitch within the commentary. I don't give a shit if it works at 3D Realms at the time. I don't want to hear his opinions on Duke Nukem. Ooh. Wonder what that does. I mean, ultimately, the good thing about running old DOS games through DOSBox, if you can figure it out, is you can rebind buttons. You can rebind the keys through DOSBox, which is really nice. Because here's a fun thing to try someday. Go back and play the original release of Doom. And I might own Dark Forces actually on PC. I might have it on GOG. I have most other Star Wars games on GOG. Let me check, actually. I do have Dark Forces on GOG. Nice. I think I have every Star Wars game on GOG that's available on GOG. The question was really, is Dark Forces available? One of the good things about GOG is they have the games, especially old games, set up to run on modern systems. So I should take a look at it after I'm done streaming and see if it runs and how well it runs. Because that might be the solution you're after.
Security breach! All units on alert! Code purple!
Looks like we ain't the only ones cleaning house. Could be Lucy.
Could be Fang. Come on, let's hurry.
Let's go get rescued.
No, not this time. For once in my life, I am going to save her.
All right, now you're talking. Let's go.
Yeah, GOG is pretty good for that kind of stuff. I use it mostly for old games to get them running on modern systems because they're usually just set up for that.
Security breach! All units on alert! Code purple!
All these colors. What's it mean?
Means we're doing our job.
I'll let you know
Cyclone
how well it
guys
works on GOG if the setup is any
Who are
good.
they fighting?
So you can decide if you want to buy it or not. No, I've changed my paradigms. Good. And I'm gonna make the roll level Ravager. Alright.
catch your breath.
Oh, I didn't get very far from the last play, did we? Yeah, GOG, old games, set up to run on modern systems, and they'll use fan-created stuff to make that happen if they need to. Like, you can get Broken Sword on there. They sell Broken Sword Director's Cut, and it comes with the original Broken Sword release. And if you want to run Broken Sword through their launcher, they basically run it through Scum for you. It's all set up through Scum VM, which is an emulator designed to run old adventure games, old PC adventure games. Which was originally just meant for the LucasArts adventure games, which used the Scum engine, hence Scum VM, but was eventually expanded to cover more and more, and now it runs almost any classic point-and-click adventure game you could think of.
We can win if we stay focused.
Speaking of Star Wars shooters, has anybody been seeing the leaks this week that suggest that Republic Commando is going to be released on Switch?
New strategy.
And of course, if it is going to get a Switch release, chances are it's going to end up being like the Switch release of Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy, which means it's probably coming to PS4 as well. And if you've never played Republic Commando, I can definitely recommend it. I have it on Xbox right now. We could quit this game and play Republic Commando right now, but we're not gonna because I'm committed to this right now. But Republic Commando is really cool. If it does come out on a system you own, I recommend checking it out. It's a bunch of fun. It's a squad-based shooter where you play as the leader of a squad of clone commandos in the Clone Wars. And it's really cool, I like it. And Delta Squad, the squad you play as, is canon to the current Star Wars canon, because they showed up in an episode of Clone Wars. So they're canon. Which I'm pretty happy about. I like Delta Squad.
That's how it's done.
Who knows, maybe we'll do Republic Commando for Star Wars for this year. I've been having issues, I've been trying to sort out Knights of the Republic 2 for a little while, but I've been having real issues with it. Whenever it is full screen on PC, because if we're going to do it, unless they re-release it with the restored content mod on consoles, then I'm not doing it on console. It'd have to be on PC and I have to work a way out for that. But as I say, I've been having an issue with it where when it's in full screen, the game chugs, and I have no idea why. It's just when it's in full screen. Turn down all the graphical settings, still chugs. Put it in windowed, and it's fine. So I've been trying to deal with that. But it's looking like this year's not going to be Knights of the Old Republic 2. So I've got a bunch of ideas of what to do for Star Wars month this year. Jedi Outcast is a possibility, Bounty Hunter, some of the ones I grew up with and have a lot of nostalgia for. I did Rogue Squadron 2 for Let's Play last year on my channel, on my YouTube channel, for Star Wars month. I could do it again for the stream this year, because it took me about 3 hours anyway. So I could do the entire thing in one stream, and that would be really cool. Because Rogue Squadron 2 is great. I could make a push to do the Rogue Squadron trilogy. But this is all speculation for later dates anyway. Fang jump up, come on. I was hoping to keep the boss in the air without having to keep using the launch.
Stay down.
Ooh. Center ring, and there are items here. I don't know what it was we just picked up. It's cybernetics Triforce. They do wondrous things. Almost missed that stagger. But yeah, go around this entire area. I want to take out everything, if that's possible. I'm not sure yet if enemies in this area respawn. If they do, that's not great. If they don't, then I have a set point to stop trying to grind it. Because the upcoming boss is a problem. And I'd like to be as prepared as possible. I say that having skipped no fights, really, except the ones the game basically told me to skip. And the game not really allowing grinding. Go. Okay, and let's work this middle ring. And we've got the surprise attack there. Ooh, there are 3 of them. This is going to be nasty. Especially since these things don't go down quickly, even staggers.
Time for another approach.
the heat. For fuck's sake, Hope.
And so it ends.
Again, this really just reiterates how stupid it is that if the main character goes down, it's game over. They don't even have a good reason for it. Like, yeah, Shin Megami Tensei does that with most of the games, and it's only recently they've stopped doing it. But there's also the point that in Shin Megami Tensei there was always a good reason why your death meant game over. One, it was usually a case of you've contracted these demons to serve you. With you being dead, they're under no obligation to do anything for you.
New strategy.
I thought they'd phased that out of Persona 5, but I must be mistaken.
Thanks. You looking ready?
Yeah, I'm kind of sorry to hear that, Teak. Outbid by a lot. God damn, somebody was really happy. Like I say, you can always look into picking up a Dreamcast and a GD-EMU or a Dreamcast. Getting them separate would be cheaper. People charge a lot for the origin modded systems. Even more if it has the DC HDMI in it. God damn. By contrast, I paid like £30 for my Dreamcast. I paid less for it because it's yellow. Which is neat. I went into the retro shop that I frequent and was like, I want to buy a Dreamcast. It's like, we got a bunch of Dreamcasts here at this price. This one will be cheaper because it's yellow. It's your choice if you want to take it. I was like, yeah, no, I don't give a fuck. Does it still work? Yeah, cool.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought they phased out the main character's death being game over in Persona 5, but I must have been mistaken. I wonder if they'll bring it back for SMT5. I hope SMT5 comes out this year.
Keep a cool head.
Hey, drama fan. How you doing, buddy? Well, you know, you can do both, Teak. That's what I keep saying about this whole thing. You can have the modded system playing and streaming and still have the games on your shelf. Well, you are playing on merciless difficulty, aren't you, Magic? That might be it. Better than yesterday? I'm glad. I'm glad you're doing better than yesterday. I don't know what was wrong yesterday, but I'm glad you're doing better. Come on. There it is. Cool. Come on, almost there.
Easy.
Close. Ooh. I'm glad you're doing better today, Jonathan. Ladies. Yeah, Dreamcast is super cool. It's a shame there's not a huge amount in the way of fan translations or ROM hacks for it. Because that's the kind of thing that really justifies modding your system to be able to play backwards. Or just getting some way to play ROMs. Would you stop attacking, bro? It's largely the same reason why I own 3 EverDrives. Okay, we'll make another pass. Yeah, well, I own 3 EverDrives. Because there's always something about being able to play on the actual system. But there's also a lot of stuff only available if you want to work with ROMs. And over the past couple of weeks I've been looking really hard into some interesting ROM hacks. Like a ROM hack I found for Chrono Trigger, Super Nintendo, which is labeled as Chrono Trigger Complete, which takes the scripts from the DS version and subtracts it in there, which I think is going to be the version I'll end up doing. The ROM hack we got for Majora's Mask, which we did over the weekend, which is pretty fun. That kind of thing. And of course, fan translations and stuff like that. I want to do some of those Square RPGs for the Super Famicom that never came out, that were never released outside Japan. Like Bahamut Lagoon, Treasure of the Rudra, Live Alive, Live Alive, I don't know, Live Alive, Live Alive, Live Alive, I don't know what it's called. Okay, so they're definitely staying dead. The only way you can really do that is with the fan translations. I mean, you could probably justify picking up a reproduction cart for that kind of thing, which has its appeals. I can definitely understand the appeals of it, but as I've said before, I am not a collector. I just want to play the games. If I can buy them, cool. If I can't buy them, or if I can buy them and the money isn't going to the developer, I start to think, we've spoken about this. At this point, it's probably a dead horse on this stream. I shouldn't be any more than I already have. Come on. quality of life ROM hacks are pretty cool. Like, we did Majora's Mask Redux over the weekend, and I got a ROM hack that labels itself as linked to the past Redux, with the idea of adding a bunch of quality of life stuff to that. And I'm kind of debating running through it. What helps is the fact that I can have links to the past done in a single stream, so it's not a big deal. But I've taken a quick look at it, and it's pretty neat. Pretty neat. I mean, hell, we're doing a ROM hack for Final Fantasy VII at the minute since we're doing the fan translation, the retry. I actually found another version of that, which keeps all the names that we used to, and also changes the font to match the Final Fantasy VI font to make it feel truer to the previous games, which is kind of neat. It's a nice visual style. I quite like it. But the main reason we've stuck with the fan translation that we're doing with Final Fantasy VII, as it is with the different names, is because Clint and I find the different names to be kind of funny. And they're a conversation point, which is always nice. Most of them are completely unnecessary. Sun to Zen, Elena to Irena. Like, weird changes that have absolutely no point. Reno to Lino. But we find them kind of amusing, so we kept it.
You know what to do.
That reminds me, I should see about picking up the 60 Hz patch for Terra. Okay, that is still going.
Thanks.
That was some bullshit. Thank God Lightning dodged a bunch of it. Jeez. Yeah, Terra Enigma, the third game in the Quintet trilogy, consisting of Stormblaze, or Illusion of Gaia, Illusion of Time in Europe, and Terra Enigma. Terra Enigma was released in the West, but not in the US, only in Europe. So there's no US version to get, but there is a ROM hack you can get that makes it run 60 Hz rather than the European standard of 50 at the time, which would be the proper speed to run it at. 60 would be 60 Hz for the proper speed to run it at. Okay. I think we're almost done here. I don't know, it might be something that only really interests me. You gotta talk about what you're passionate about, I think. Who knows, maybe you'll make somebody else passionate about it as well. Yes, this could be nasty. They get rid of the Vespids as quick as possible. Okay. So try and get Thermodon to stagger before it does anything. Come on, keep going. Almost there. Damn it. Almost had it.
Cool head.
There we go. Is that the last of the enemies in this big chamber? No, it is not. Alright, these guys have got to be the last. Go. I want to do Persona 3 soon. I think it's been fun. Yeah. Oh shit. Thank God Hope was on the ball for once. A little more on the ball, please, Hope. They're all focusing on me. This will go a lot better once we have one down. Back to full attack. Yeah, it might be time for me to get back to Persona 3 sometime soon. Which I actually do have a ROM hack file with that as well, so I can control the entire party. Which will make the game so much more tolerable. Plus, the sooner I do that, the sooner I can do Persona 4, the sooner I can do Persona 4 Arena Persona 4 Arena, the sooner I can do Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, the sooner I can do Persona 3 Portable and do the female protagonist. I think that'd be interesting.
Don't worry. Thank you.
Thanks.
You asked for it.
There we go. Am I better off with Ravagers for this? No, probably 2 Commandos is actually better for this. Damage. Right, that's why the timing with Fang is off, because Fang only has 380 gauges. But Lightning has 4, because Fang hasn't summoned Ragdolan yet. Alright. Just a little bit more. Thanks, Magic. I think that's everything. Yeah, in case you missed it, I was talking about doing Persona 3 sometime soon. I was doing it previously, but I ended up picking up a mod for it that lets you control the party. Because you couldn't control the party until Persona 4 in that style of game, because Persona 1 and 2 are different. So in Persona 3 and Persona 3 FES, you don't control the party, they do their own thing. And it very quickly becomes a problem. So just being able to control the party changes up the dynamic of the entire game. And I got a mod that lets you do that. Unfortunately, it only works with the US version. And the version I've been playing was the European version, so the saves aren't compatible. Hey, video games. How you doing, buddy? Okay, that's good. Finally here. You made it. No, I don't think you did. You told me you fixed it. You didn't tell me how. And Sentinel. Honestly, that sounds like it doesn't make sense, but having dealt with playing somewhat old games on PC, I can believe that worked. Even PC gaming is so stupid sometimes.
Vanille! We've lost the intruders!
That means we're code yellow. No, wait. Code blue? If we were orange, that would mean...
The escapees made it through! They're entering the engine room!
No! Damn the sea!
Intruders located! They're on the weather deck, starboard side!
Make it rain!
Well, she didn't seem to operate very well under pressure.
Desperate times demand flexibility. Code white.
Wine 3D. Oh, I'm glad it's working for you. Yeah, Jill and the Bat really not working well under pressure there.
What's going on?
I was thinking previously that the color coding had been pretty confusing. Like, code green was not everything's okay. At this point, Magic, who knows? I was hoping Atlas had added some of the games to the PS2 backwards compatibility. Because the PS2 backwards compatibility was far better than the PS3. The PS2 classics on PS4 were better compatibility-wise than PS2 classics on PS3. To the point where it wasn't worth... It was never worth playing PS2 games on PS3 that you downloaded. Because they never ran well enough. And I was hoping that Atlas would put some of their games on there, and they never did. Which is really unfortunate. Especially because of the resolution issue. Like, the PS2 classics on PS4 look really clean and crisp. I quite like that. Which is a problem with playing actual PS2. They really don't look clean. Looks like we got another round trip. Nice. 13 does have some good music. I think a lot of people let their general dislike of the game get in the way of enjoying the soundtrack. Round and round. Focus on the planets at first because it can heal them.
How about some of this?
Damn it. The problem really is the resolution. I have Blood Omen 2 on PC. I have all the Legacy of Kain games on PC except... except original Blood Omen, because it's not so bad Blood Omen on PC digitally. You'd have to go and get an original physical copy, which probably wouldn't work. But I have Blood Omen 2 on PC, and it supports modern resolutions. It supports 1080p in widescreen, and it looks fantastic.
We got this, Vanille.
The issue is just that the PS2 doesn't have very good visual clarity. When I do Blood Omen 2 myself, I'll end up doing the GameCube version because that's the version I have. And see if it looks any better on GameCube. The GameCube did have a better video out than PS2 did.
Follow the old man's lead.
No, you're definitely right, Magic. That is a lot of bother, and not really worth it. Especially when you can just stream from the PS2. But the real issue with the whole thing is the resolution and clarity. Like I say, the PS2 just doesn't output video that well. And I think I was talking about this with my brother earlier this week. Like just how nice it'd be if there was a decent video solution for PS2 in the same way that you've got. Was it one or was it earlier this stream? It'd be nice if the PS2 had some kind of solution video-wise like the GCHD does. Alright, thanks for joining us, Bane. We'll catch you next time, but you take care of yourself. Push comes to shove, you know, you could always emulate the PS1 version, but that wouldn't be ideal. So it would be cool if the PS1 version had support for the PlayStation mouse. Yeah, I'll take a look at the GOG version I have, Lino, and let you know about it. There might be a reason I've not really played the PC version through the GOG version, but it might just be that I don't really play PC. If I remember rightly, it had the same problem that XIII does, in that it does support the mouse, but moving the mouse forward also moves your character forward, which is just a stupid idea, and I can't believe anybody ever did it. And so that would require going into DOSBox settings, which would mean I'd have to pull the file out and deal with it directly through DOSBox. Which I don't really want to do, honestly. But I'll take a look at it for you, Lena. No. Ah, damn it, sir. Okay, one of you is... There it is. One of them was staggered. And I wasted the stagger opportunity. God damn it. Yeah.
Here. Thanks, Vanille.
It's been a while since I took a look at Blood Omen on GameCube. Blood Omen 2 on GameCube. I should get a look at it, see how good it looks. Not a whole lot, honestly, too. I know it's possible, and I know it produces a very nice video signal, but hard modding is not my area of expertise. I focus more on soft modding. Which is a big part of the reason why I don't have PlayStation with a digital output. Which, if you ever see those, they look really nice. I can promise you, video games, we are not going to be doing that. That is a question, Seek. Oh, they've respawned. Oh. You can look at the videos that I've done on Dreamcast and decide that way. Worth noting, the HDMI converter I have stretches the screen, and I shrink it back down for the stream. And then compare it to other videos you can find of the DC HDMI output. See what you think of it. Metal Jesus Rocks is a YouTube channel that usually has good comparisons between those things. And I think he's done one for DC HDMI versus composite and VGA. So that might be worth taking a look at. That's some bullshit. Well, that was fucking ridiculous. God damn it. Fucking tornado bullshit.
Finally run out.
Yeah, I think ultimately, Teak, it's down to you how much you value as clean a video output as possible. And is DC HDMI video output is it clean enough over VGA over HDMI converter to justify the price to you? Because it's the thing, like, I've got my N64 output, and you saw the N64 output over the weekend when we did Majora's Mask Redux. And that's the best I can get without modding the system. And so...
Vanille!
Thanks! Oh, yeah?
Come on.
Don't give up!
Nice, good work, Lena. But yeah, the N64. Looking into it, and you can get the RGB mods that increase the video quality for N64 and display it through RGB. And looking at it, it wasn't a big enough jump over S-Video, which is what I use. S-Video into HDMI. I didn't think it was a big enough jump to justify either modding my current N64 or buying a pre-modded one. Because both would have cost quite a bit. And ultimately, the best solution that there is for the N64 is the Ultra HDMI. But that definitely isn't worth the cost, because it's a couple of £100 just to pick one up and then install it. It wasn't worth the cost to me. I think at the end of the day, you have to decide for yourself that kind of thing too. I can give you my opinion, and my opinion is that VGA is fine. I'm happy with the setup I've got for my Dreamcast. I think it looks really nice. Whether or not that'd be good enough for you is down to you.
Oh, yeah?
Thanks, Vanille. We got this, Vanille.
Yeah, I'm glad you got it working, Lena. If it works out for you, it really is a shame there's no simple way of doing Dark Forces on modern systems in a really nice playable state like GZ Doom or E-Duke 32 or EC Wolf. Alright, you should still be here when you get back, Lena.
Vanille!
Go.
We got this, Vanille.
I just want this thing dead. Like, come on.
Vanille.
Go. Always love haste. We should make them pull off their actions faster. No, you gotta deal with the regular animations. Come on. How long was that one fight? Almost 7 minutes. It felt so much longer than that. Do I get anything for that? Those fuckers respawn. And that guy blocking the exit respawn, so that's nice. Alright, let's do this. Let's get out of here.
Follow the old man's lead. Leave it to me. We got this, Vanille.
I suppose, you know what, actually, see, the question I didn't think to answer in response that I should have asked. How much is the extra expense that you're talking about for your DC HDMI? On, lay it on thick. I think I figured out how to deal with these guys better now. It involves a focus on Ravager. But bust never hurt. Let's get out of here. I'm dealing with that guy again.
Well, isn't this great?
Oh, this ain't too bad. I was thinking, oh great, if we have to deal with 2 of the Myrmidons, I'm not going to be happy. This ain't really an issue.
Follow the old man's lead.
Although if we could keep the Vespid from doing that, I'd definitely be happy about that.
Thanks, Vanille. Didn't even have to ask.
Go.
Go, girl.
Okay. Faith and vigilance. Okay, and D-shell as well. Awesome. I didn't take. Okay.
Thanks, Vanille.
Alright, and bring the thunder. Like that super. After you get struck by lightning. It's the thunder. That is not worth 3 bars on the ATB gauge. You know what? I'm just gonna do this myself. Almost had it. Gotta die this way. Oh no, haste is running out. God damn it, die. I don't like dealing with these things with 2 people. That wasn't random, that was scripted.
The wind, it's dying down.
Yeah, it's stopping. And we're decelerating.
Hmm.
They up to something?
Probably.
I don't suppose it could just be, I don't know, good luck?
That looks a lot more like bad luck.
You got a point.
Not to me. That we can do something about.
Fair point. Let's go hit things. Well, we had already dealt with them in on-field encounters. This game doesn't really have random encounters. We'd already dealt with them. But that one in particular was scripted. What's renew? Okay, want that. Check what we got.
Let's turn the tables.
Oh, looks like they brought some fun for us behind as well.
Please stop working.
Save point in there. Still got a bit there. Rock and roll. Show them what we can do with 3 people in the party. Two turns. The beauty of just having a full party, and it's definitely one of the negative points of this game, that they spend so long making you fight without a full party. And they do it so often. There we go. One. Two. You know, I can kind of understand that. You're fortunate Scarmony is one of the Pokemon names that I recognise. I can name you every Pokemon in Gen 1, but after that things get fuzzy and there's only a few I can actually name.
You asked for it.
Yes, I think, pretty sure that does more damage than 2 Ravagers. It's weird that they don't call the revival spell Raid Life in this game like they usually do. What do they call it in other games? I can't remember. Is it Raise? It's not Renew, I know that. Yeah, Raise. That'll be useful. Thanks, video games. It's weird they call the revival spell Renew. There we go. Let's make some progress.
Nothing I can't handle.
Get a blitz quick enough in the right place, and then I could stagger all of them. Or a Thundara. Those stagger bars drain really quickly. That was weird. Doesn't really mean a whole lot, I suppose. We still won quick. Over there. Up there, over there. Nothing sneakily around here. Alright, Sarah, apart.
hardly worth the effort.
Alright. Doesn't look all that complicated going forward. That shadow looks like it's glitching.
As long as I stay focused.
Keep your mind on the battle.
Interesting how low the stagger point is for dragoons.
Target's a target.
And the health. I realise I've been neglecting paying attention to the health recently, but thankfully it hasn't been a big deal. Come on.
Time for another approach.
So what is everybody thinking of Final Fantasy XIII so far? Because I've been making my opinions pretty well known as we've been going. But what do you guys think?
Keep the enemy off balance.
I think I've been pretty fair to this game. I didn't expect to be. And to be fair, I wasn't overly fair when I started. Mostly to Snow, because honestly, fuck Snow early in this game. It's an interesting consideration, Triforce. That is definitely a good point there, video games. But it's an interesting consideration, the padding to inflate playtime. Which wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea if the padding felt entertaining. But what it really is just moving through battles like this, constantly. Because there's no real downtime. Like, the only time in the game we'd actually had any proper amount of downtime, when we got to Hope's house, and when Vanille and Sazh got to Nautilus. And that was it. And they didn't last long, and there wasn't anything you could do other than just keep running forward like you already have been the entire game.
You asked for it. Thanks.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
Padding isn't necessarily a bad thing if it's handled well. I think the real issue with this is that it's not. And that the only thing the game really has going, as far as gameplay goes, is this. It's a Final Fantasy game without any minigames, without anything else going on, which is kind of surprising to think about. And I said this when we started, or not when we started, a couple of sessions in, but it really feels less like a JRPG and more like a dungeon crawler. And maybe that's a big part of the problem. You go into it expecting something like previous Final Fantasies, and it's really not. It's more of a dungeon crawler. And if you went into it expecting a dungeon crawler where this is everything, then you might have a better time with it. I don't know. I think it's a point worth considering. I mean, that doesn't forgive the mistakes it makes in its own battle system. The flaws that its battle system has. Where it works against itself. Especially with specific enemies that end up essentially ending your turns, which is frustrating. There's one enemy later in the game that appears in the final chapter, when you're in Orphan's Cradle. And that enemy is really frustrating because it charges across the field as one of its attacks. And anybody it hits with that loses their entire turn.
Thanks.
And it won't just do that once per fight. There's also the posing with the paradigm shift, which I wish I could turn off. Because it's just an active hindrance.
Target to target.
It's an interesting thought. All the battle arenas in this area are the same battle arena. After removing it 13, so that's fair enough. I haven't played Lightning Returns and I've not done much of 13-2. Those are games I want to get to at some point. That is an interesting thought, because Final Fantasy XII had on-field battles. And it's not something I've really considered. But you could be right with that titanium. It sounds like something I could believe. I suppose my big question at this specific moment is, why is Snow in our party when we can't change our party? Possibly. It's like I said when we were at Hope's house, the size of the corridors felt like...
Let's get this over with.
Felt like something you'd seen in an MMO. Areas that are designed to be bigger to accommodate larger numbers of players. When you start thinking about the size like that, you realise that every area is weirdly spaced out. Like, not even just length, like width of corridors are huge. I should have been on medic quicker than that. Of course not. Spend, no expense. That's one that Bane put down. So I think I put like 10 to 15 of them down and Bane added the rest. Except for one which might have been added by Ninja. But Bane might have done it and it was contributed by Ninja.
Here. Thank you.
The fortunate thing with those little cutscenes, little poses they do when they change paradigms, where they all have to do it one by one. The fortunate thing about that is that the AI does not let that stop them. Like, you just saw Hope immediately. God fucking damn it.
And so it ends.
Like, you just saw Hope immediately cast Cure while it was doing that.
Let's get this over with.
One thing that does become kind of a problem with all the points on the gauge, the ATB gauge, it's kind of irritating you can't target more than one target per round. Which means, like, oh yeah, no, Fang needs healing now. But what if Fang and Lightning both need healing? That's got to be two separate turns. Well, that was bullshit. Fortunately, Hope has Renew now, so he can bring them. He should be able to bring Fang back without me having to use another Phoenix down. Need time now, Hope.
Thanks.
Any time now, Hope. What was the point of Renew if you're not actually going to use it?
Thanks.
It's a TP move, which means the AI can't use it. Fantastic. Alright, thanks video games. Now you see, the way they set the battle system, we show it here. Alright, attack, 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 attack. They make you choose, and then choose which one you're going to do, where you're going to aim it. Which means you can't do cure, cure, cure. It has to be cure, 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 which takes longer, which can be a real problem. I feel like that video games is just something to levy at the game entirely. Don't know why they did that. It is pretty stupid and it's frustrating. Especially when, as you saw there several times, you can go from full health to nothing incredibly quickly. Do that faster, please. And then you have shit like that, which seems designed to infuriate you. Like when you actually start enjoying the battle system and the game turns around and says, "What's that? Fun? No. No, 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 we do not sanction this." Which, like I say, there's that one enemy that occurs in the final area that just... It's not even that it's a tough enemy, it's just designed to fuck you over and irritate you. 12 with the gambits, I feel, isn't as bad as this. If 12 gave you more control over the gambits, that would be great. But setting the party to react in certain ways, in certain situations, I don't think is a bad idea. But there's like every time, and I had this problem the first time I played this, every time you start getting into the battle system for whatever reason, the game turns around and changes that. They introduce some enemy that makes it frustrating to deal with.
Back me up.
The game is fighting with its own combat. Before this boss fight, and that's another point, like, the way the game specifically works against you grinding by unlocking more of the Crystarium as you progress through the game. So they very much want you to do the game in a very specific way. Plus after the one coming up. I forgot if Bartandles was the next one or the one after. Yeah, like the Crystarium. Like, we look at where we're at now. It's okay, Commando. And then Lightning's maxed Commando as far as it can go right now. Ravager is maxed as far as it can go right now. And because of the way the game works, Crystarium works, grinding gains you nothing if you aren't getting anything from the Crystarium. So the game has specific ideas of where it wants you to be at every given point. Which is also part of the problem with chapter 10 onwards, because suddenly the game doesn't care. It expands the Crystarium too much in comparison with how it previously was. And it's a case of go and do a load of grinding. The exit's right there. We've put a monster in front of it, and you will not be at this opportunity at this point. So go and do a load of grinding. We've put a load of missions here to give you the opportunity to gain experience. Cool. Why do that 20-25 hours into the game?
New strategy.
Got lucky with that one.
You asked for it. Eat this. Cheers.
And I mentioned this earlier in regards to that one enemy that shows up in Orphan's Cradle and just is able to cancel off your entire turn. But I hate that enemies can interrupt your attacks and your abilities and doing what you're doing. What two moves are you thinking of, video games? Just keeps going. Vendetta and Entrench. Yeah, I remember Entrench was always kind of like, what's the point of this? Because the whole focus of the Sentinel role is defending, not attacking. So dealing more damage in the Sentinel role isn't something I'm after. You know, thinking about that, 200 followers to do Final Fantasy 15. I might change that. Doing 13 now. We're not super far off from 200. I might change that to Chrono Trigger. I think that would be interesting in the fact that people like Chrono Trigger and it's a game people can get excited about. And I have been wanting to do it. And it would give me a specific time to do it. I think that'd be a good idea. Maybe. I have to consider that. Maybe move 15 to the 300 followers. There we go. Anything good down here? What about the other side? Doesn't look like it. Now, what about at the end? There you go. You believe that that was like half an hour, probably longer than half an hour ago now, and we're only here? That was not worth it. There we go over there. Deal with these guys, then we'll head forward. Take it out before it uses arrow. Alright, that's not too bad. Aggression. Really need to get that timing down so they both don't start attacking at the same time. 2 launches is at least 1 wasted attack, because one of them is going to miss. Can we make it? Oh, just missed it. Almost had it dead before the stagger meter ran out. Now let's do some more Crystarium. You're done with that. You're done with that, so just Synergist. Veil. That's not really good. Eh. Nothing especially great in that circle. That's done. Mediguard's a good one. Same as Steel Guard, but instead of blocking everything, you just recover health while you do it. Basically a regen block.
Keep your mind on the battle. Change of plan. Thank you.
The problem with the AI as well, especially on healing, is the way it'll prioritize higher level heal spells over lower level ones when you could do more of the lower level ones to do more healing overall.
Thanks.
Like, Cura isn't just big Cure in this, it's AoE Cure and takes up more of the ATB gauge.
Thank you.
There you go, heals multiples. But it heals for so little, I don't think it's ever worth it.
Keep the enemy off balance.
Alright, finish it off. How are we gonna make this one? Oh no, we did it, nice.
Just another battle.
Love how the camera didn't keep up with lightning from where she killed the enemy to where she actually landed. Here we go. More Dragoons. Bringing shame to the name Dragoon. You know, there's an interesting point to speak about how much Cura does. It brings up an interesting point that we've been kind of overlooking. Look how low the max health is at the minute. You would expect it to be higher at this stage in the game. Especially with the numbers we end up taking out on the enemies. Like, Final Fantasy XIII is a game where the numbers just mean absolutely nothing. Crazy. Like, if we did Libra on any random one of these Dragoons, dude would have to have well over, like, 10,000 hit points. Possibly 25,000.
As if there was any doubt.
And so you keep seeing those numbers, and the numbers just become meaningless. Spark Ring. Anybody want it? Nobody wants it. Yeah, we can wait. That was kind of counterproductive. Alright, looks like there's an exit here. Which really is a case of, finally. This area took so long.
Back me up. Time for another approach.
We speak about the Crystarium and the way that the game rigidly holds you in specific positions on it by only expanding the Crystarium after certain story points. And I think it's worth noting one of those story points is finishing the game. You don't get full access to the Crystarium until after you've finished the game.
So, Light, how you figure this makes us lucky? Because when we kill it, we're one step closer to Vanille. How's that? Well, when you put it that way...
Yes.
You asked for it.
But because of the way the entire game is, it doesn't have any kind of compelling post-game.
Thanks.
No, I don't think that's reasonable, video games, because the game intends for you to be at that point in the Crystarium in those stages of the game.
Keep a cool head.
The game just likes to pull out some bullshit. I'm getting cranky, aren't I? Probably about time to wrap this up. Stuck on level 4 of the Crystarium. Yeah, the final level doesn't unlock until after you finish the game and load up the completed save file. Aggression, not wasted the stagger. Yeah, there's nothing compelling in the post game. You're just back on Grand Pulse, and you can run around Grand Pulse and do more of the missions. But why would you want to? All it is more time spent with the battle system, and so you got to decide if you're that enamoured with it. And in this day and age, you also have to decide if you're enamoured enough with the battle system in this, just ignore the sequel, when you could just go to the sequel. Now let's end this. Oh great, another one.
Another one!
One big fat stroke of luck after another. I'm so happy I could cry.
Tease us, will ya?
No, there's a maximum amount of leveling you can do at any given point.
Vanille!
Who gave Choker Chick that kind of firepower?
There you are.
Miss me?
You, the monster!
Where?
Oh no, I hope it continues to be not a threat at all.
Change of plan.
Attack, hope heal, and then we switch back to Ravagers.
Time for another approach.
Getting more healing. I always hate in a game that has an instant game over condition if the main character dies, when anything decides to focus entirely on the main character for a while. I actually killed Ben at one point.
Keep the enemy off balance. Time for another approach.
Let's say you can be. There's only a certain amount of leveling you can actually do. There's only a certain amount of leveling you can actually do, and ultimately, I think between specific points, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. Going through every enemy you encounter is going to leave you, especially at certain points, with more points than you can spend. And there are still enemies that will tear you apart because that's how the game's just designed, apparently.
Vanille! Fang!
Didn't they just do this?
You've still got time.
Fang, there's something I need to tell you.
Making me worry like that. We'll talk later, Missy.
What's wrong?
Huh? Oh, nothing. Nothing. So, what's on the agenda?
We're gonna go
Toppling
fuck
the
shit up.
sanctum?
No, I mean really.
He's serious. We're gonna take down the Sanctum and give Cocoon back to the people. The Fal'Cie have called the shots for long enough.
It's a plan with
pull this
absolutely
off, it'll
no
be a miracle.
contingencies, and
Well,
he's not gonna be
good thing
very
Lady
good
Luck's
if
on
it
our
works. But fuck it, why not?
More of them?
You know, this is getting really old.
Check this out! A miracle. Grand Pulse style! Vanille, go fish!
Got it.
Amazing how neither of them will ever do that in
That's
combat.
a good girl.
There we go.
Believe in Lady Luck now?
Yeah. Lady Bad Luck.
They didn't bother to give Sazh a seat.
Purge of Primarch.
You got it. Yeah.
Like, Zazz's life is essentially dependent on can he hold on while this shit's happening, while everyone else is just sat down comfortably. Yeah.
I had my doubts. But I also believed that if we stuck together, somehow we could change our fate.
Pretty much. It was all unnecessary. And this is another problem with the way Final Fantasy XIII is structured. Every time you get to the end of an area, and a cutscene happens and drops you in a completely new area, and there's no real connection between them in gameplay
Let's survive
terms.
this first, yeah?
Right.
Yeah, they already said, like, if they fall off the ship, even a sea won't survive that. Now we can do it. Finally. So if Sazh fell off at a point where they weren't above the ship, it would have killed him. You can change the composition of your battle team by pressing Y to open the main menu, selecting paradigms within the... change the fucking party. Let's level everybody up first. It seems that way, Teak. It only took us almost 19 hours. I didn't realise I was playing Grand Theft Auto 4. Okay. Whoever I go, whatever team I go with, I'll have to have a decent set of paradigms for. And I'll have to have that in consideration. Sazh has probably the best synergist abilities. I think that's entirely because she's the main character. Like, there's not another reason for it. Like, even once you get this far, they want you to keep playing with Lightning as the party leader. Ooh, no accessory. Raise, there we go. Which makes Vanille our most valuable healer. Which makes me think the team I want No, we start with Relentless Assault. Double Commandos and a Ravager. That's probably a good one. I can probably do with more medic work. Probably video games. Probably. You know, I was honestly considering continuing to the fight with Bartandalus. And then I came over here to save and noticed that there are bad guys down there. And our goal is that door. We can't zoom out far enough to see it on the map. So that's probably another hour. And you know what, we've already gone longer than I intended to today. At least we finally got the ability to make our own party. Vanille's the best medic we've got, Sazh is the best synergist we've got, and Lightning being able to go through both attack styles and medic is pretty useful. I'm confident in this team. But that is going to do it for us today. I want to thank everybody for joining the stream. I always really appreciate the support. Big special thank you to everybody in chat. Who do we have today? Lino, Sina, Bane, Teak, Titanium, Drama Fan, and Video Games, and Magic. I believe that's everybody. See, I'm not noticing anybody who I didn't mention. Yeah, thank you all so much for keeping me company. Chat is always the best part of the stream. Let me throw some shout outs for people who I recommend. There is Teak, who is a super cool dude, who I believe tonight Teak is going to be starting System Shock. Which, if you've never seen System Shock is an old game from a very interesting time in game development when a game could be basically anything. And System Shock is obtuse, it's not friendly to play, but if you can play it or you can find somebody who knows how to play it or is willing to learn, it's pretty interesting. I got no backseating I can give you there, Teak. I've never played System Shock. I have it, and the best thing I can say is maybe play the Enhanced Edition rather than the original. Interesting, I'll have to pop in there, though I don't think I'm going to stick around long, because I'm aiming for an earlier night tonight. I intended to end this a while ago, but I wanted to get off that top deck. Because I had the points, Teak. God, no. I mean, if you want to play it for only one stream, Teak, it's your prerogative. You said you'll do that for games you don't think are going too well. But yeah, I appreciate you just being here in general, video games. Like, don't worry about specific time, I appreciate you just being here. Thank you, Magic. Glad you enjoyed the stream. And I hope your Persona 5 playthrough is going well. Yeah. Let me give another shout out for our buddy Magic, who is currently playing Persona 5 Royal. It's his first playthrough and he's playing on Merciless difficulty, which, if you know the original Persona 5 release, Merciful difficulty didn't come with the game. They added that as DLC later. It was free DLC, but they added that difficulty. So, like, think about how hard that is. Let me see, we got our buddy Lino, who is a super cool dude. He finished Splinter Cell today, and as you may have noticed in chat, he's been talking about getting Star Wars Dark Forces to work on PC so he can stream that. And if you've never seen Dark Forces, it's a pretty cool Star Wars game. It's basically a Doom clone, but that is not a derogative term. It is one of the best Doom clones. And we got my buddy Steiner, who is also a super cool dude, recently started streaming and he's been getting quite into it. He's currently playing through Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. He's doing all the side ops, which I didn't expect. If it was me, I would have done the main story and then gone on to the Phantom Pain. I would not have entertained the side ops, because the side ops do not justify the price that game was put out for. But he's doing the side ops, so if you've never seen them, check them out. They're kind of interesting. Is there anybody else? Blood, I wouldn't call a Doom clone. Running on the build engine, came out in 97, I believe. Blood, I think, is different enough in a lot of its stylings. But I get what you're saying, the 2.5D shooter idea. Yes, it's very much that, and it is dripping in Star Wars, and it's a really good game. Is there anybody else to shout out? Titanium, I'm told, streams, and I still haven't checked him out, which I probably should. But Titanium has been pretty good. Very supportive, and he's always a cool dude in my chat and in other chats of people that we both follow. So check out Titanium. Cool dude. Is there anybody else? Not that I know of for sure. I don't know if anybody else streams. And I don't have the Twitch page open, so I don't know if anybody's currently live. Let me check. Oh, Crack's still playing Majora's Mask. Yeah, that's gonna do it. All cool people worth checking out. Friendly, always best part. Friendly, welcoming people. You know, I'd be down to do Blood at some point if they give it a proper console release. I wonder who owns the Blood IP at the minute. Monolith are still going. They did. I'm thinking for a second they were shut down, but no, they did. The Middle-earth Shadow games, Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War. They're still going, and I don't see any reason why anybody else should own them. It's not looking good. Yeah. Shadow Warrior never got a console release. They talk about games made in the build engine, the three that matter. Duke Nukem 3D, Shadow Warrior, Blood. And the only one that has an actual decent console release is Duke Nukem 3D. And that console release is the Megaton edition that was released on the PS3. And you can't buy that anymore because Gearbox took it off. They delisted it after they put out the 20th anniversary edition, which is just not worth the cost. We'll see. Yeah. Once again, I want to thank everybody for joining the stream. I always really appreciate the support. I appreciate the discussion, and of course tangents. Titanium apologized recently I think during Majora's Mask, it went off on a tangent and apologised for that. I was like, no, I appreciate the tangents. Tangents are often the best part of the stream for me. I love discussing stuff with people like that. We'll be back with more Final Fantasy XIII next Tuesday, 8 PM Great Mean Time GMT. The next scheduled stream is Saturday. I am not sure what we're doing at the minute. We're currently still taking a break from Skies of Arcadia because Chansum still needs to get a little further ahead, and I don't want to overtake Chansum in that because it's his first playthrough. So I'm not sure what we're doing. Possibility of several things. I might do Max Payne, Ninja Gaiden 2, continuing the Ninja Gaiden playthrough that we did previously, because we finished Ninja Gaiden Black and I wanted to do Ninja Gaiden 2 after that. But then the Redemptions, so I wanted to do those. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII, Sunday, 8 PM Great Mean Time GMT, where I'll be joined on mic with Cliff. I'll be joined on mic by Clint. Clint will be with me on that, so look forward to that. And yeah, Final Fantasy XIII returns on Tuesday, 8 PM Great Mean Time GMT. So I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. I always really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for being here. And with that, like, I don't think there's really anything else to say. Teek's going to be going live soon with System Shock. So check him out. He's never played the game before, it seems. And System Shock is not a friendly game. Not a friendly game to newcomers. But it's one of those games that is pretty good. And if you can get past a lot of its obtuse design, because it was made in, I want to say 95. Like, you can get past a lot of the obtuse design. It is pretty rewarding. Or sequel Crash and Burn. And, you know, to an extent, that is also entertaining. To an extent. But yeah, once again, I want to thank everybody for watching. I always really appreciate the support. And that's it for the stream. So, thank you all for watching. To an extent, Teak. To an extent. A little bit of frustration is kind of funny. Not frustration that goes on for an hour, but a little bit of frustration is kind of funny. But yeah, no, I'm tired and I want to catch an early night. Early-ish. So I will probably be in there for a little while, Teak. But as usual, I will not be there the whole time, because time zones make fools of us all. Which is always great, because I'd love to stick around to the end of more of your streams, but that ends up being like often 3-4 o'clock in the morning for me. Yeah. Oh, that's a point. Cyber Shadow came up on Game Pass lately, and I've heard that's pretty good. I saw Ninja QK, who is a dude who raided us while we were doing Ninja Gaiden Black, and I followed him after that, and he's a pretty cool dude. He does a lot of ninja games. I saw him playing it, and it looked pretty good, and it came up on Game Pass, so maybe I'll do that on Saturday. Do not hold me to that. But yeah, with that, nothing else to say, but thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic time of day. Take care. We'll catch you next time, guys. Bye.